If there's one thing I want for you in 2022, it's this. And that's consistent clients signing up every single day, week, and month, depending the stage that you're at. And whether you're just starting out or you're already on your path or maybe up to 15 to 25K a month, you must have a method for identifying your next step. And so today I'm going to provide you with this tool that helps you identify the exact next thing to do in your quest to getting consistent clients, whether you're just starting out over here on the left, right above my head right here, between 10 and 30K a month, or you're on your path to 30 to 100K a month. So what we're going to talk about today is the Get Clients Roadmap to Consistent Clients. This is your next step. So if you're excited and ready for that, then comment ready and let's hop in and talk about how we're going to bring this to life, this tool and this whole entire pathway for you and for your business. Now, there are a couple mistakes that so many coaches and service providers make on their path to getting consistent clients. And you know, I know this from the dozens of coaches in my program, the hundreds of coaches I connect with every single month, and from, you know, my own journey and my own path as well. And so the first big mistake that I see coaches making is, you know, especially for the ones that are just kind of starting out or have been at this for a while and just don't have the results to show for it. And that first mistake is operating with no plan. And that's frustrating because you usually either get stuck below 5K, or if you do hit that 10, 12K a month mark, the next month you're back to, you know, $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000. And that's frustrating because you're doing all of this work. You've changed the time you wake up. You go to bed earlier. You're starting all these conversations. You're creating all of this content. And you're getting nowhere. And you don't really just have the results to show for it. That's mistake number one. The mistake number two is that you have a plan, but you just don't follow it. And so what ends up happening is you sit back watching everyone else succeed in the coaching programs that you're in, or all your friends on social media, all the other people in your network who do what you do, provide services or coaching programs like you do. And so you end up spending all of this time and money, and it kind of goes to waste, whether it's a coaching program or maybe you did ads usually way too soon or something like that. And so you end up wasting a bunch of money, and you either have to stay in the day job that you've been trying so hard to get out of, or you have to consider going back to look for some consistent work. So those are the mistakes. Let's talk about where I want for you to be and what you need in order to bring this roadmap, in order to unlock these next revenue milestones in your business. The first thing that you need is you need to have the right plan. It must be, number one, in order. Number two, it must be simple. And number three, it must get you steady results, not slow results that you have to wait for forever to get, that it keeps kind of dragging you on. The second thing that you need to bring this to life is you need a tool for identifying your next step. All right? It needs to be an easy tool that you can reference, something that lays it all out in front of you. It must be proven, and it must be time tested. It can't be just something that someone's putting together because they thought it would be great. It needs to show results. People already have implemented it and are on the other side of it and have success and results to show for it. So without further ado, if you guys can hear me and you can see me, of course, if you're here live, comment the word live. And if you are here watching the replay, hello from January 2022. And comment replay if you're watching the replay. We'd love to see you and check up on you as well. So let's dive in and take a look at what we must need to do for your business to get you over to the next step. Now, a couple rules when it comes to this Get Clients Roadmap right here. The first is that we're going to always start at the bottom, okay? So that means that even if you are above here, if there's a step or two you've missed below, let's do that first and then move upwards. Second thing is we're going to start from the bottom right and move to the left. Watching and learning. Thank you for your expertise. Yeah, of course. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you. Now, what you'll notice, a couple things. Over here on the left is we have a couple different time frames. Time frame number one is start to 10K. Who is in this spot right now? Start to 10K over here right above me. The next time frame that you have, let's use a different color. Yeah, is you have 10K to 30K a month. And then the last time frame that you have is that 30K to 100K a month milestone. So I want to know from you, where are you at? Are you in start to 10K? Are you in 10 to 30K? Or are you in 30 to 100K a month? Let me know over in the chat. The next thing that you'll observe is up here at the top, we have a couple different sections. The first we have is scale. This is going to be a little bit more systematic and a little bit of the mindset leveling up that you need at the stage that you're now in. And then you have the things that we always talk about. We have your offer, which is delivery. We have attract, which is your leads. And we have convert, which is your sales. So we're always going to start from scale, then go deliver, attract, convert. Does that make sense? Next thing is we're always going to start from the bottom down here to the right. And this is how you diagnose the exact step you're at and know where to get to next. And I know that so many of you guys have never seen something like this or had something like this to guide your progress and your journey. It's going to be a game changer for you, as it's been for me and for my students. Okay? So these three things over here on the bottom right is where you want to start. There are 3 modules that we implement here at this stage, and this is mostly what my students do as they enter the Get Clients program. The first thing that we understand is that there are 7 focuses, 7 commitments, seven pillars to focus on in order to get your business to being able to make what most people goal is, which is $1 million a year. It's only $84K a month. The next thing, and there are 1 or 2 more of these inside of here. This next thing, let's use purple, is the 7 habits, which is the 7 habits of highly effective people. Who's read that before by Stephen Covey? It's actually a lot of what inspired me to put this together and to have some of this traction. My coach uses something like this in his business, so that inspired me too. The things that I teach and how I teach them are a little different. The people that I help are drastically different. So I thought I'd put this together, and I was reading the 7 habits of highly effective people, and that has now become standard reading for all of my students. All right, there are 4 quadrants that you can be inside of for productivity. We need to get over to quadrant 2, which is why this is so important. If anyone knows the book, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, read the book. I think it's necessary reading for any coach or any service provider consultant who's taking this seriously and wants to get to 100K plus a month. Next thing that we do is we set up the payment processor. And that way you can take payments in and do it in the best way possible. Once we do that, we get over into offer program mode, which is kind of the delivery zone. First thing that we got to do is we got to find your niche using the niche finder. That's thing number 1. Second thing that we got to do is understand the transformation. Your clients are coming to you as Urkel, so to say, and they want to be their cooler Stefan version of themselves. And when you understand what's going on in their mind now and what they want to be going on in their mind when they get to where they want to be, it makes your marketing just come together super simple. Once we do that, we lay out everything together in a minimum viable program with a model that carries the heavyweight for us called the Planet's Pathway. And my students, they're pretty familiar with this Planet's Pathway. Anyone in Profit and Freedom watching right now as well will know about this too. Next is we get into a little bit of attracting people in, all right? And the first thing that we do is we have a little tool. It's almost like your first employee that helps you to start generating leads and start getting fresh, warm leads in and growing your network, all right? So that first thing is this, it's Pepper. The second thing that we do is we need a content calendar. We need something to guide you every single day. What holds most coaches back from getting from the start to 10K a month mode is that they start loading in all of these things that are unnecessary, like tons of content. They want to launch a podcast, or they want to have a 3-part email series, and they want for it to look super pretty, or they want to launch a webinar. And it's just way too soon when you're below 10K a month. Okay, so if you're doing that right now, you could totally just stop. That's the great part. But what you do want is you got to have content going out. You need people you need to be showing your expertise every day for people to see it and for people to start being attracted in. And if you do this right, it only takes you about 10 minutes a day and maybe 25 minutes at the beginning of the month to plan this all out using something that we call the content calendar. And then third, as people start to show interest and start to come your way, we need a way for just starting to interact with these people. And the most important part here is just conversations, knowing how to conversate back and forth with them. And then once we have people coming in, then we're going to implement something called Convo to close. This is probably what I'm most known for out there in the space, other than, sexy hair that changes every couple months. And Convo to close is just what you say and when to your prospects so that they're more likely to sign up for a call with you or to actually join your program and your service. And it's half script and it's half your personality and your special herbs and spices, so to say. So there is scripting to it, but it becomes very organic. And once it's ingrained in you, it makes it very easy to get to the next level of it. We'll talk about here in a second. Next is doing the one call close. This is just easier to do when you're starting out instead of doing a 2-call close. It puts you a little closer to the money. You may have to do a few more of these, but the good part about that is you start to get really good at them, and it takes you on to the next stage. And then thing number 3, something a lot of you guys have been asking about recently, is get booked CRM. Is you need a way to manage your pipeline, to manage your prospects into actual like sales and to members of your program. Yeah, the hair, I'm telling you. We got some good comments flowing in over here. I'm feeling a little goofy today, so hopefully this is a bit more fun for you guys, if nothing else. So this is how we get from start to 10K. If I had to say, which one of these is the thing that most coaches stuck below 10K are missing, first I want to know from you, like, which one of these is the obvious next step for you? Again, we start here and then we go this way, and we start here and we go this way as well. But what's it for you? That's 3. Yep. What most coaches miss out on is these foundational pieces right here. They think they have the foundation done and they're generating some revenue, but when we look under the hood, when they join Get Clients, we have to backtrack just a little bit and put these pieces in place. And what's great is that everything gets easier, and so you have a big month right out the gate. But the next thing, this is what I think, this part right here, I think most coaches and service providers have nailed down, because it's an exciting thing, and it just kind of, I hope, makes the most sense for most people. You'd be shocked at how many coaches come my way. They've been doing it for 2 or 3 years, and none of these things are in place. But they have great looking websites and great sounding podcasts, and they're growing a Facebook group as always, but still no clients to show for it, no revenue. Next step is improving quality of leads and lead gen in general. Yeah, so that means that you're over here in this zone. And what's great is that, generating leads should take you maybe 20, 30 minutes a day. And then you get to move on and either start working with the clients or putting these other pieces into place as well. But if there's one thing that I think most coaches are missing, it's this right here. It's having a CRM. So that's why I made one. It's free for now. I might end up charging for it in the future. If you want a copy of that, just comment download and I can get you one of those. This is something that's a pillar now of the Get Clients curriculum. And it's what a lot of coaches are missing who have revenue flowing in, but just not consistently. Getting better at Convo to close. Yeah, that's super critical. So that's the first stage. Now let's talk about the second stage. Everything starts over here with how you operate, which is in sprints. We do this in the coaching program that I'm in, and so I've kind of implemented my own version of it into my program and Get Clients. And what we do is we work in 6-week windows, and then we take 2 weeks off. And that's great because it's just enough time to get big things done. You pick these pieces first, and then you put them into your plan. You work on them for the next 6 weeks. And so that's what we do when we get to this next stage, after we have the foundations down. And then the 2 weeks off is where you plan your vacations, your fun time, your downtime. In the beginning, you may not have all the money to go to Costa Rica, go wherever you want to go in the world. But it is where you're going to take some time off, and you at least have some permission to not implement anything new. Catch your breath, relax, and plan the next sprint. The next thing we do is the daily and weekly tracker. This is how you understand exactly what to do on a given day. It's also how you manage your week. You review it, and then you consolidate it and package it up, and getting on to the next stage. We have a comment here. Let's see. Can I add it to broadcast? Yeah. I took Jeremy up on getting a copy of GetBook CRM, and my sales improved immediately because I acted faster on hot leads. Lost them previously from not tracking well. This is, such a big deal, and I can't understate it. This is what caused for me to make this and to make it a requirement for all of my students. So again, if you want a copy of GetBook CRM, just comment download. I have a few more copies left. I opened up 20 slots the other day, and so if I have some more, I would love to get one for you and your business as well. Next is that we delegate, and this is all about how you start to get stuff off of your plate and start to build kind of a team, and at least have some help so that you're not doing everything. Now, we're going to be taking this concept and the daily, weekly tracker, along with some of these things that we're going to cover here in just a second, and we are going to be implementing them at an upcoming mastermind at the end of this week. So the January mastermind is on, it's coming up at the end of this week. I have a couple guest passes available. So if you are an online coach doing at least 3K a month already, and you want to be a part of it, then comment details, and let's see if it's a fit for you. If I have room, would totally love to have you, if it is a fit and if it can help you. So let's have a quick chat to see if it can. And we're going to be going so much deeper on this roadmap, picking up the next steps, planning them together, putting a plan together. That way you know exactly what's coming up for you. And so you have this clarity to operate. You wake up every single day clear, knowing exactly what to do and where to go. After we get the scale stuff done and handled, we know how to work, how to run our week, how to run our day, how to delegate. Then we move out of minimum viable world and just getting started mode, and we create an actual members area. Many of my coaches, so that's one, many of my coaches are also doing one-to-one when they first come my way, or they're doing services, they're doing them just in a way that takes a long time. So the next thing that we're going to do is move to a hybrid model where you start to coach and deliver your offer in groups. And then third is we need a way to track success, to track results so that you get more success stories and so that your business grows organically with the results that your clients are getting. So that is deliver for getting to 10 to 30K a month. Now let's talk about attract, getting leads in what you do. So if you've already implemented Pepper, the content calendar, and you're already starting to navigate conversations, the next thing that you want to do is you want to get your first 100 email subscribers. Who here has an email list or has been top of mind for building one? The big mistake coaches make here is they do this too soon, is that you want to do this when you're just starting out because whoever you look up to has an email list and you've heard the importance of it, which is wise, but let's do the right things in the right order so money comes in and then you can use that to fund the rest of your business. So at this stage, as we start to get our first 100 subscribers, then we implement the Convo tracker and we up the amount of conversations that you handle every single day. Once we do that, we implement something we call the live system. You're getting a glimpse of it right here while you're watching. If you've seen any of my stuff that I do here live in these trainings every week, then you're watching the live system. There's a whole front and back end piece of this and how you promote it. I have an email list, but they've been unloved lately. On it to warm up again and keep value high. Yeah, and I can't see in my little window here who has commented that. But what I will say is that if we're below 10K a month, no need to worry about an email list. No need to worry about nurturing them consistently or anything like that. It's just going to take too much time. And there are lower hanging things to do to build your business. So we get our first 100 subscribers. We implement the Convo tracker and we up the amount of conversations you have every single day. And then we start to implement the live system, which is a weekly live training just like this where you demonstrate your expertise, nurture your audience, and then you use that to create all of your other content. It's a lot of fun. Lastly, when it comes to getting to 10 to 30K a month, right over here, is the next thing we want to do is we want to install the engine. This is how you get more appointments starting to get booked without you needing to be there for every conversation and nudging them along the way. Then we upgrade from a 1-call to a 2-call close, where we do an initial call. This is where you kind of diagnose them first, and then you get them onto an actual roadmap call with you. And then third, we master the close. This is how you get really good at the last part of a sales call, which is the most exciting and sometimes the most scary. It's where you invite people into your offer, into your coaching program, or into your service. And when you do this, it's elegant, it's a lot of fun, it's choreographed, and it makes it very easy to deliver, but it comes out as natural, and your prospects will be thanking you and saying, hey, shut up, I'm in. Take my money. Where do I go? And so all these pieces come together to get you to 10 to 30K a month. So that's stage 2. Who here is in stage 2? And what's your next step? Now, let's talk about 30 to 100K a month and what it takes to get there. Now, if you're below these 2 levels, it's really exciting to look up and know what's ahead. What I want to discourage you from doing is jumping ahead and starting to implement things that aren't for the stage that you're at. And it takes away the excitement of getting there because you're going to have this false sense of achievement because you're implementing these things that you're actually at this stage when you just might not be. And so I want for you to be honest with yourself. Imagine me, sitting next to you and holding you accountable for doing the right things at the right order, the right things in the right order at the right time and for enough time. And so I want to encourage you to stick to doing the right next step. Just identify that one next thing to do and play full out to get there, and then you do the next thing. Oh yeah, 30 to 100K, awesome. Please, sir, can I have more? Oh yeah, tons more for you. Now let's start over here because we start right and then we go left. And I talk a lot about one offer. Once you hit this stage, we can consider another offer, which is your entry offer. This is a lower ticket thing. So many coaches take this entry offer thing and they're trying to do it down here at the start to 10K a month mark. And I get it. You've been below 10K for a year, 2, 3 years. We still got to do the right things in the right order. So find the piece you're missing here, double down on it and implement it. And then once we get you up here, we'll talk about a lower ticket offer. Next thing that we want to do here is we want to free up another day. This is one of my big goals for any students that enters my program. We usually end up freeing up a Monday or a Friday. If you have anxiety around Mondays, we free those up. And if you want to have some more fun, then we free Friday up. At this stage, we want to do the opposite. So if you have Monday free, let's free up Friday. If you have Friday free, let's free up Monday. That way you have more time just personal for you to enjoy being, an owner of a business and to experience the fruits of your labor at every step of the way. That way you're not waiting for some big day where you get to experience the awesome life that comes with being a business owner. You're experiencing along the way. Third is profit first system. This is what you do with every dollar that comes in. We start this profit first here with something called the Money Manager. It's a brand new training that we're unveiling this week at the January Mastermind. So my students will get not only the mindset and the framework, but they're also going to walk away with a tool. So if you're there and you join us live, you'll get a free tool that helps you to implement this and to bring this to life. It's a little heavier duty than some of the other tools that you've seen from me so far, but it's great. It's going to help you manage the money, and it's going to help you get a bird's eye view of your business. So that way you get a pulse on it and you understand the inflow of money and your expenses so that you can increase the inflow and so you can mitigate that outflow. Next, let's go into offer program delivery zone. This is where we implement iPad plus Notability. That's what I'm using right here. It's a nice, fun system for keeping yourself organized and for also just sharing your ideas out into the real world. Second, we start to automate and we start to layer on some technology to make it easier for you, like Zapier and those sorts of things, in the right area so that it's still simple enough for you to implement and manage, but also robust enough to help free up time every single day. And then third is we're going to start coaching in groups. This is just the next level and standing on the shoulders of switching from one-to-one and then starting to layer on group cohorts. And now you're going to be running an evergreen business that you can coach everyone in groups. You don't have to wait for launches or cohorts or the next time. You're just able to enroll people in every single day, and your program makes sense for every member joining in. And it just gets better as every member joins in too. Attract for 30K to 100K. This is where we finally launch your Facebook group. If you have a group below 10K, it's holding you back, I promise. Pause all efforts on it and focus on these other stages that are down at the bottom in the start to 10K a month mark. Too many coaches and service providers, they're starting groups way too soon. And what this ends up doing is it takes away precious time for you to be investing with your clients or to be finding new ones. There are way easier ways to get clients than Facebook groups when you're just starting out. And trust me, running a good Facebook group takes a lot of time. And so the last thing you want to do is throw 100, 200 people in there, and then they're not getting the experience they thought. And so it just becomes a dead zone, and there's just tumbleweeds flowing and Western music playing in the background, and you're nowhere to be found. This is where we launch group. Second is we implement the one-page funnel. Now we're starting to do funnels, notice. Notice down here, I didn't say sales pages. I didn't say ConvertKit. I didn't say WordPress. I didn't say Teachable. I didn't say ClickFunnels, lead pages, all of them. We launched those up here at 30 to 100K. Next is we start to implement a conversation team, a Convo team that is masterful at Convo to close, just like you are, and that help you with all of your conversations going on and help turn them into clients for you. Next. And this is last, 30 to 100K. When it comes to converting, is we start to get them from our group. This makes growing easier at the right stage and right time. The next thing that we do is we get a setter. This is someone who helps you to set appointments and helps you to fill your calendar with quality prospects so that you can close them in every single day and week. And then third is we create a little system that allows for you to close inside of the conversation for prospects who don't meet your highest level criteria, and we get them into your entry offer, and we don't spend any time on the phone with them. We just close them into the DM. So now that we've gone through this, you should know without the shadow of a doubt which is your next step. So I want to know, what is the right next step for you and for your business? And has this been helpful? Has this been a little bit of a relief for you to know and see what the right next stage for you to do is? Because here's what I know when it comes to coaching, I've been doing this since 2013. I've helped hundreds of people. I've connected with tens of thousands of them since. Is that coaches at one of these stages will end up in one of these three places over the coming 12 months. These are kind of like lifelines. These are potentials where you and your business can end up. So if we're here in January 2022 and we think about the next 12 months and getting you over into January 2023, there are three types of coaches that are watching right now. The first kind of coach is the one that watches this and doesn't do much with it. Sticks with doing the wrong things in the wrong order at the right time and also not doing those for enough time or doing them too long. And so their results are going to look like most people's, January, February, March. But as time starts to go on, what you'll start to see is the look on their face change, and they kind of end up in this no man's land, or no woman's land, so to say, where they don't have the results that they were looking for, and they think it was their coach, they think it was Mercury retrograde, they think it was all of these other things besides themselves. The honest ones can look at themselves and say, it was me, I wasn't following the plan. That's person number one. The second kind of person is a person who watches this and does some of it, and it sticks for a little bit, and they look very similar to these folks on the red line, and they get some results. They have a good month and then a bad month, and a good month and then a decent month, and then a good month and a bad month, and then bad month, bad month. And what that kind of looks like is like this. And so they're kind of going above the line and back below the line. So we have the stuck line, we have the kind of staying still line, and then we have the last lifeline. And the most interesting part about these lifelines is that these are going to look like most other coaches and service providers out there. But what's different about them is where they end up in January 2023 and the results they have to show for it. How many clients they have in their programs, how many dollars they're earning and keeping every single month, and also just the level of happiness and success they're experiencing. And those folks kind of look like this. And so as you can see, a lot of these folks here in this first couple months, they all look the same. They all look like they're going the same speed. One of them is going to end up in a totally different place than some of the others. So I want to know from you, what line do you want to be on? What line do you feel like you're on right now? Or do you feel like you're on the right path to success? Do you have a roadmap that looks like this that you're leveraging and looking to every single day? Or are you waking up unclear, not knowing what to do? If that's the case, you're going to end up either on that stuck line or that staying still line. Both are frustrating. Both come with their own unique frustrations, but both are frustrating. What I know about the coaches who, if I can get this out of the way, what I know about the coaches who end up here on this green line is there's something in common with all of them. And it comes down to three things. It usually comes down to they have the right plan, the right roadmap and pathway. They have the right tools to get them there. They're not spending a whole ton to make it come to life. And they have the right help, and they know how to and when to ask for help, and they do it faster than most others. You see, I think that businesses are kind of like rocket ships. And it's just like with Elon Musk. When he launched SpaceX, it took him a couple tries. But what they found is that there's certain things that need to happen in a certain order. There's stages to it. And if one of those stages goes wrong, it can happen at the beginning, the middle, or at the very end, like it was for him. You can experience catastrophe in your business. That means you have to go ask mom and dad for money. You got to max out your credit cards. You got to go back to work. You got to get pulled away from your life's purpose and making an impact out there for you, for your clients, and for your family. And so whether you are a big rocket, you're at that 30K a month mark, or you're a baby rocket just getting started out, the facts are the facts. You must do the right things in the right order in the right time. That means following a proven, time-tested, step-by-step plan that gets you steady results every single day, that gets you noticeable results every single month, and that moves you ahead year after year. So if you are an online coach doing at least 3K a month right now, and you want help implementing this, and you want to be a part of our January Mastermind and to plan out your 2022, then I want you to comment details. I have 7 guest passes, and I'd love to invite a few of you folks. And so if you're watching this outside of Facebook, then find me over on Instagram or Facebook at What Up Jeremy. Send me a message with the word details, and we'll have a chat to see if or how it can help you and talk about getting you on this green line here in 2022 so that you can experience a successful coaching business and impact the lives of many. Even Elon Musk had 3 or 4 failed launches before he had success. And so you might have some hiccups along your path too. As long as you have it in your head and in your heart that it isn't going to happen overnight and that good things take time, then I think you're on the right path. There are 3 things that are going to set your next 12 months apart from others. That is having the right plan, having the right tools, and you need a way to get help, right? That way you can get there faster with less issues, less hiccups, and waking up with that kind of foggy thinking every single day where you wake up clear and know exactly what to do and know when. If you'd like a copy of today's roadmap that we've been going over, then comment roadmap and I'll shoot you over a copy of this. That way you can have this to follow in your own business. And if you'd like to be part of the January Mastermind, then just comment details and let's have a chat to see if or how it can help you. If you're a Get Client student, then it's part of your membership, so you'll be there. Be sure that you have blocked off Friday, 7 a.m. PST to 2 p.m. PST, where we're going to jam in and make it happen. Regardless, for you watching right now, the one thing I want for you is consistent clients in 2022. So start doing the right things in the right order at the right time for enough time, and I promise you'll get there too.